Welcome back to our Cultivating Faith audio devotional series. As we experience times of uncertainty and change, faith is important, for it allows us to hold on to what we hope in, even if what we see leaves us a bit shaky. We do hope our words are encouraging to you, and so if you have any questions, thoughts, or concerns, please feel free to reach out to us at saskatchewan@foodgrainsbank.ca. In our first two devotionals, we talked about land and soil. While land is a needed resource for the farmer, ongoing care for the soil is essential to producing good crops now and into the future. These realities remind us to cultivate faith, we need to steward well the gifts that each person is given and care for the soil of each one's heart. Today, we are talking about a giving seed, quite appropriate as farmers in Canada have begun or are soon to begin putting seeds in the ground. Any talk about seed reminds me of one of my husband's favorite passages of Scripture from John 20:24. Truly, truly, I say to you, unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains alone. I'm learning much about grains and seeds these years, including that, while related words, a seed and a grain are technically not the same thing. However, I do hope it's okay for our purposes today to use the words interchangeably. Like land, seeds are also a precious resource. In Canada, they might seem easy to come by, but this is not the case in every part of the world. I remember well the times I joined Rick to visit a rural farming community when we served with Mennonite Central Committee in southern Mexico. Often a key element to these meetings was the delivery of desirable seeds to group members. There was careful consideration of what seeds would be needed, what seeds each person could afford, and I imagine much joy as folks thought about the nutritious food these seeds would bring to their families' tables. While seeds have an amazing potential to reproduce themselves, they do need the right conditions for this to occur. As John 20:24 suggests, a seed will remain alone, unable to fulfill its intended purpose until it is planted in the earth, unless, of course, you're doing hydroponic gardening. For the farmers and gardeners out there, you know that a seed needs water, air, and warmth to germinate. Otherwise, it will remain dormant. Of course, at times seeds, even under the best conditions, remain dormant. They are, for some reason, unwilling or unable to break out of their seed coat, and so they cannot sprout. Humans do have a role to play in providing the three conditions I mentioned so that the seed can do its work. We plant, we water, or pray and wait that rain comes. Yet only God created a seed that can grow, multiply, and become food. I do so appreciate how science can explain all the intricacies of how a seed grows, but it is still so amazing that such a tiny thing can give so much. At times, perhaps your faith seems small, or you would like to cultivate more faith in yourself or others. Maybe sometimes we feel like a seed that is dormant. Perhaps we are unable or unwilling to get out of our protective coat. Or perhaps we are like a seed that does not have the right conditions to multiply itself. Maybe we imagine ourselves as one kind of seed, but our lives produce another. There are many things in life not in our control, but we can remain committed to giving ourselves to our families, communities, to our neighbors, and pray, trusting that God can provide what else is needed to help faith grow. It is also possible that in the busyness of life that we cannot see the growth of our faith and how it is making a difference in the lives of others. I remember that it wasn't really until we said goodbye to our Mexican neighbors that they spoke of the impact we had made in their lives. Sadly, not that long ago, we had to mourn the passing of a Canadian Food Grains Bank colleague, as you read in our newsletter. Andre passed so suddenly that we did not get to say goodbye or tell him how his faith had impacted our own. I did not know Andre that well, but I wonder if perhaps he's okay to have missed such sentimentality. But for those left, especially his family, it is good to speak of Andre's faith and how it allowed him to give so much to others. No person is perfect, and each one is a unique seed. But from what I know and have heard of Andre, his faith in God allowed him to plant many seeds of kindness, generosity, hard work, and determination. Rick and I plan to plant some wheat in our yard this year to remember Andre. I pray that the good works and deeds we witnessed in Andre's life will be planted in our own hearts and in everyone he knew, so that they can be multiplied and continue to live through each one. I encourage you to think about people, maybe even yourself, that you have known or still know. Remember their faith and how it allowed them to keep on giving, even in trying and difficult times. The Bible itself recounts many stories of people of faith, especially in the book of Hebrews. I leave you today with the beginning of Hebrews 12, as paraphrased by Eugene Peterson in the Message version. What this means? All the pioneers who blazed the way, all these veterans cheering us on? It means we'd better get on with it. Strip down, start running, and never quit. No extra spiritual fat, no parasitic sins. Keep your eyes on Jesus, who both began and finished this race we're in. Study how he did it, because he never lost sight of where he was headed. That exhilarating finish, in and with God. He could put up with anything along the way, cross, shame, whatever. And now he's there, in the place of honor, right alongside God. When you find yourself flagging in your faith, go over that story again, item by item, that long litany of hostility he plowed through. That will shoot adrenaline into your souls. Such good words. We hope these verses from Hebrews, or the other ones we share today, might encourage you to continue to give to others, and in so doing, cultivate faith. Again, before I go, I offer you a few questions and an action step. First question, what are things we hold on to that makes it difficult for us to willingly give our time and energies for the sake of blessing others? What fears keep us from letting these go? And secondly, what desires are within you that you have yet to bear fruit? Offer these to God. And finally, prayerfully consider how you can give love to someone this week despite a potential cost to yourself. See how God brings blessing through your willing and giving heart. Peace and grace to you all. Tune in next month for Chapter 4, The Land That Drinks Rain. And while you're at it, pray that farmers all over our world can receive the rain they need this spring to grow good food for us all to enjoy.